Welcome to Food Mavericks 1000. I'm Teddy LaRose. Actually, I'm not Teddy LaRose. Teddy LaRose is a name. It's my stage name. If you want to hear more about that kind of thing, we have another site in case you haven't gone there, Space Mavericks 1000. And that's where we'll be talking about other things because it's not all about food. Today we're doing a quick food thing, okay? This is like stuff you could do in advance. So if you have all this stuff done in advance and you just pull it out instant, okay? So what we've got going is the new, I'm calling it the evolved dough. I really like it. I evolved the recipe. It's very simple. Don't get intimidated. We'll do this fast. Don't get intimidated by yeast and dough. It's just, there's a couple things if you remember, you'll be fine. Get nice, fresh, closed package or fresh, closed box. And don't heat the water that it's going to be dissolved in too hot. It's like 110 max, so it's just a little bit warmer than your hand. And that's good, it likes it. Then you let it dissolve. And this recipe is a four cups of flour recipe. We'll call it a 4-cup recipe, and that's enough for 2 kind of medium-sized to small deep dish pizzas. That's what we're going to do later. So that's dissolved. I gave it maybe 10 minutes, so it's just the water and yeast there, and it's dissolved. You saw that dissolved. Then we're going to put 4 cups of flour. Not a big deal, you'll notice how, accurately I'm measuring here, just like that. Okay, and we're going to put some oil in it. This is actually, you don't have to put oil. It makes a very nice dough, but the oil in there, it's sort of more classic. I've got the oil out. I'm oiling another bowl while I have the oil out, not later, when my hands are gingy. And I'm going to do about a 1/4 cup of oil in here. I'm sighting it here. You could measure. It doesn't have to be that much. It could be a couple tablespoons or nothing. A lot more, I don't know. I don't put a lot more usually. Okay, so then we have salt. And we're going to do, this is nice because it's easy to remember, just 1 teaspoon. This is coarse salt. So if you used fine salt, it would be saltier. And this, you'll get to know what you like about it. And then we're going to put just a little bit of sugar. You also don't have to do this, only if you want to, but I like it, just a little. This looks like about a teaspoon. Now we're going to mix. First we're going to oil the other pan, then our hands will be a little oily, and it won't stick as much to the hands. What you want to do here is not be too worried about it, just get the stuff wet. Just trying to be quick here because, who has time for this? But if you do this, it's the fun mixing thing. I used coconut oil. You could use, don't use olive. Use coconut oil, avocado oil would be nice. Ghee would be nice. Even melted butter as long as it's not too hot. Now, look at the texture here, guys. It's a little stiff. Like a little too stiff to collect all that floury stuff. Now here's the trick of the trade. Don't wunk a bunch of water. A little bit of water. A bunch of water will make it really, really sticky. And it can be a little bit tricky, so you can measure in your hand. A couple tablespoons. We're just going to squish that around here. You can see I'm just squishing. What you want, what I'm looking for here, is not a really stiff dough, but also not a hard dough. Now you can see that there. It's a little stiff still. Just remember that, and I'm just telling you from experience, if you add a whole bunch, you're going to get a really wet dough. And then later you think you might add flour, and fix that, but that you want the proportion of sort of yeast to flour to be appropriate so the yeast has not too much work to push that up. Okay, as you can see now, it's sort of getting softer. And in my experience, it sort of softens up with rising. So this will be a fine amount. You can see it's mostly I'm mixing, I'm not really kneading. However, if I had more time, I would because I love to. And it's sticky here, so you can either use a wet counter or a floured counter. In this case, or an oiled counter, I guess, for that matter. I'd probably do it lightly floured. See how it's sticky? Oh, a little stretchy, sorry. See? Okay, now we're going to leave it alone and let it sit here in this nice oiled container, oiled wise so it doesn't stick as much when you're trying to get it out of there. And we're going to let it sit for like 2 hours. What's marvelous about this is that I've tried it. After 2 hours, you can use it. So, okay, another trick, guys, we've said this before, but see, it doesn't like wind or too much cold. So if you've got a wind or AC on, you can just pop it in your oven so long as you don't turn it on. Here's the don't turn it on code. Okay. 2 hours. Then you can do pretty much anything. Thin pizza, thick pizza, calzone, sweet ones, anything after 2 hours. And also another cool thing is you can take it after 2 hours and refrigerate it and use it later in the day, use it tomorrow. I have stuff in there that's been in there for a couple days and should work. I'm going to test it later. So that's going to be done. We're doing deep dish tonight later. Okay. So, if you watched the DD Pizza, you got the fancy version. Donnie fancified, and he liked it. I don't know if we said anything, the only thing I would have changed for most people's taste is a little more salt and a little more sour element. But he liked it as it was, so it's just you can work with that element in it. What I took here today was again the same, it's not quite a pound, it's 14 ounces. And I put the juice of 1 huge lemon and a 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar. A tablespoon of salt, I think. There you go. I mean, I thought that was about a tablespoon. That's a lot. I probably didn't do that. Let's say 2 teaspoons. Don't do, add later. Okay, 2 teaspoons of that. And then I thought, okay, there's all those fancy spices, and I'm like, I don't have time, and I want to be quick today. What to do? Handy condiment. Just shot some of that in there. I mean, just like this. I don't know, it could have been a 1/4 cup. And then I whisked it. And I tasted it, and it's not bad. Really, it's strong, which it should be, and all like that. And then I just cut the tofu like we did before, like in slices. I'll show you. You can see they're in here, and they're pretty much covered. Okay? And no, as you know, we put mustard, if you watch that video, mustard ground in the spicing. So mustard's a really good one to do. And now we're going to let it cure for at least an hour, I'd say. But we're going to also not even knead it until maybe 6 hours from now. And he's been using stuff that lasted over a few days. Yes, like 2 days, 2-3 days. So if you've got it in the marinade, it sort of helps preserve tofu, as you know, and cover it like that. So we're just going to refrigerate that.